Hey, how's it going, people? It's your boy Young Camel Toe coming live from Bangkok. I've now been here for 3 weeks, and I just wanted to share with you the top 10 tips that I have found while living here in Bangkok. Okay, number one, rent a bike. Just get you a motorbike. Please just rent one. Now, I know everybody and their mama tells you don't rent a motorbike in Bangkok because the statistics of motorbike crashes and people going down in an unfavorable manner are high. Yes, those statistics may be true, but Bangkok is such a wide and vast territory that none of the blogs, forums, or videos could really explain, and you can only get the true experience while riding around on a motorbike. You get to see the areas that are not connected to the MRT and the BTS. I mean, Sukhumvit is great, and the other lines are great, and they take you to a lot of places in Bangkok, but there's so many places to be undiscovered if you only use public transportation and taxis. Because even though a taxi could take you anywhere you want to go, how do you get the taxi to take you to a place that you don't even know exists yet? So you need to get a motorbike and you need to explore. Now, when I rented a motorbike, I only drove in the far left lane slowly, pretend like it was your grandma's in a motorbike. That's kind of how I drove. I didn't break any traffic laws. I never went to the right side of the road. I never tried to drive on the sidewalk. I didn't try and bob and weave through traffic. If the car stopped, I stopped. I just kept it simple, man. So get a motorbike. Number two. Everybody says when you come to Bangkok, you need to go see the temples. You want to go see all the ritualistic, spiritual type of, old buildings that everybody talks about. Well, that's going to get old pretty quick. I mean, after about 3 days of seeing the Grand Palace, Wat Arun, Wat Riaraska, Wat Tatun, Wat Taboom, there's temples on every single corner. A lot of the ones that are on your Google Maps or whatever maps that you're searching, they require money to enter. And then there's tons of other temples that require no money to enter, and you can just walk in, and they kind of look the same. After so many Namah Shivas and seeing monks in orange robes bowing their head, you kind of get to a point where it's just like, okay, I know what to expect at the next temple, and you're going to become templed out. I call it templey, so don't get templed out. If you still want to do cultural stuff after you've seen the temples, stop seeing temples. You don't have to go to every single famous monument temple. Don't give yourself a required list of things to see just because that's what tourists see. I found that it was much better when I just went to a random neighborhood, drove around on my motorbike. If I saw something that looked interesting, I would walk in. I would ask questions about it. Sometimes I would get a tour. Sometimes I would get a very intellectual conversation. Sometimes I'll get some free drinks or a free meal. And most importantly, I made friends with the locals in the time and place of where I was at. It didn't have to be historically significant from the past, but it was significantly culturally good for the present because I was able to make a bit of history myself, and I find that's a whole lot more fulfilling than going to temples in and out, seeing Buddhas, and doing the same thing. So culturally, go ahead, go to some random areas. If you see something interesting, check it out. If you see a large gathering of people, just go ahead and check it out. Most of the people here are very kind, and they will look out for you, so check that out. Number 3, this one comes to the nightlife. Okay, so if you're gonna party out here in Bangkok, I feel like you need to go where the tourists go, you need to go where the locals go, and then you need to go to where the tourists and locals go. I find that in Bangkok, the locals like to go to Thong Lor and Ekamai. Now, at a lot of venues in Thong Lor and Ekamai, you could find Thai people playing cards or playing Uno at like a desk. They set up tables and almost like these desks inside of a lot of the bars and clubs, and they don't really have too much of a dance floor at a lot of the places. So as an outsider looking in, it was kind of hard to, talk to people. I found one club called Beam that is free to enter, and they had a lot of dance floor place, and the locals there seemed to be more talkative to outsiders. But many of the main clubs that the locals go to, they kind of just stuck with their own. So if you want to party with the locals, just know you're going to have to really put yourself out there and kind of get around. I find that the locals actually talk to me more when I was outside of the venue. Like locals would just be kind of drinking, about to go inside, or kind of just like tailgating on the outside premises. I found that those locals are way more down to be friendly, and a lot of them invited me to go wherever they were about to go next. So that was cool. Now the tourists, they like to go to a place called Khao San Road. I'm not really a fan of Khao San Road, man. It's loud, rambunctious. They don't really have too much of dance floors, just kind of just tables and desks everywhere where people are kind of just supposed to stand and drink. I mean, it's a fun time, I guess, but you're really going to have to be drunk to enjoy it. So if you're not much of a drinker or drug user, the environment is very hectic, and it gets old kind of fast. I found that there's another area called the RCA, which both locals and tourists go to. Now, this is a long strip of clubs, and in those clubs, the Thai people actually they don't really dance, but they mingle, they socialize, they go outside of their social circles, and they're down to talk to random people. So I would say on the RCA, specifically Route 66, that was one of the more, I would say, friendly clubs for foreigners to go to. On a fourth tip, if you're going to do Muay Thai out here, which I highly suggest you experience, because the Muay Thai training out here is one to die for. Nah, I'm playing, but literally, it's just a good experience. I suggest you find one place and stick to it for at least a week. By going to any of these Muay Thai gyms, if you go for at least a week, it drops your daily rate significantly. I mean, I was paying, most of the places charge 500 baht a day, which is $15. Just for a 1-day class pass. If you go for the week, they drop it out to 10. And if you go for 2 weeks or a month, it's dropping all the way down to 5. So definitely the longer you stay at a gym, the lower the price will be. I definitely suggest just staying for at least a week at one gym, just to truly get the experience. You'll end up making friends, and they will invite you to other social gatherings outside of the gym. So it's a great way to make friends, great way to get a workout, and just a great way to, it made me happy, and most of the people that I saw inside of the gym were happy customers as well. Number 5, okay, we're gonna get into it about the food. Now, there's a lot of expensive food options in Bangkok. I was very surprised. A lot of the restaurants will charge you, $15 for a meal, which in Thailand is pretty expensive. I mean, I've noticed that most of the locals pay anywhere from $3 to $6 for a meal at a restaurant, including drinks. So paying 15 is nearly double the price. So just know that if you see anything above 300 baht, I'd actually say if you see any meal above 250 to 300 baht, that's getting more towards the expensive side, man. Most of the good food options that the locals eat for a good affordable price are going to be around 100 baht. So if you ever see 100 baht, just know that's a pretty good price. Anything lower could be dicey, could be a little bit on the stingy side, could be a little bit unhygienic. Anything above 100 is probably going to be better. Now, I don't know if that's true, but that's just how I felt, when looking at the prices, it kind of matched the cleanliness of whoever I was ordering it from. Number 6. I mean, this one specifically goes for the men, because, I don't really date men. So when it comes to dating women, I gotta be honest, I didn't date any of the girls here in Bangkok because I didn't know how long I was gonna stay, and why waste my time when I know I'm about to be leaving on a plane anyways. So what I've found is using Tinder is the extremely easy way of doing it, man. Just as long as you contact enough Thai women on Tinder, you eventually will find the non-lady boys, because a lot of lady boys there too, And there's a lot of huskies out there, you know what I mean? A lot of linebackers out there looking for some fun. But you can find some pretty nice looking women who are just trying to have a fun time like you. They understand that you're traveling. They understand that there's no real need to go on any formal dates. You can just meet them up for a drink, meet them up for some coffee. Or sometimes they'll just say, hey, what's your address? And they'll just show up. So if you hit enough people up on Tinder, that is by far the way to have some quick, free, safe fun in Bangkok. Number 7. Let me think. Number 7. There's a lot of sporting activities at Lupini Park. I saw people playing tennis, basketball, running, a lot of private yoga classes going on. Not private, I mean public yoga classes going on that you can join. A lot of Tai Chi. Just there seems to be a lot of exercise for free in Lupini Park. So if you're trying to get your exercise on and you're not really trying to pay for it, I suggest you check that out. Number 8. When it comes to the visa, you get 30 days now. I mean, on March the 1st, was it March the 1st? No, on April the 1st, they changed the rule that U.S. passports can only get 30 days now for their visa. It used to be 45, so now you only got 30 days. So what I suggest you do is you either go to another country and check that out. That's what I did. I went to Indonesia, paid about $60 for my flight, and I checked out a whole new country and stayed there for a week, and then I came back. For those of you who don't really want to see another country and kind of want to get their visa extended for the cheapest price, you can actually just go to the local government office and extend your visa. It doesn't cost that much. It's about $10, and they give you an extra 15 to 30 days depending on how much you pay and depending on what your situation is. So I highly suggest you do that. Fact number 9. A lot of the people will charge you more money for the same services that they charge locals. Now, in a lot of situations, you can't really get around that. But I highly suggest that you don't, anybody who's really trying to sell you something, like if you're just walking by and they start saying, hey, coming by, just know that they're going to set you an extra high price. So you better at least bargain with them, or like I did, I just took my business elsewhere. If somebody was just chilling inside, minding their own business, I knew that while walking in, they're probably going to give me a fair price. This especially goes for the taxi services. I like to use the app Bolt to get around because Bolt was fast. I use the taxi bikes that were low when I didn't have a bike, and it was you know, they know where you want to go. They know how much they're getting paid, and it's set up front. While it can be different when you're talking to the taxi drivers on the side saying, do you need a ride? Do you need a ride? Because they often will charge you more than is expected. So that's another thing. And then number 10, this is your vacation. So whatever it is that you like to do, I suggest you do it here. Being able to put yourself in a whole new culture, but still being able to feel somewhat like at home is really important. There's a couple of days where I just woke up and said I didn't want to do anything because it was just so different. I didn't have my normal group of friends to socialize with. Sometimes there was a language barrier. Sometimes I just didn't want to wait in traffic. You know, just a whole slew of things. But I found that anytime I did some Muay Thai or played basketball, or I just got done running around this lake right here, just getting exercise and being outside, seeing nature and doing things that I love to do. It made some music as well. Really kind of put me back into that feeling of happiness again. So if you're ever feeling lonely out here, or just a little bit down or a little bit lost of what to do, go back to your roots and pick up some that you used to do in your own country and try to do it here. All right, that's my top 10 tips. It's been your boy Young Camel Toe. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and commenting on this video, and I'll see you next time.